Hey, everybody. Welcome. I am Dee Willis. I do a lot of reselling and digital products online on Etsy, eBay, and now whatnot. So that's going to be a whole nother story. But if you're all about diversifying your income, then definitely subscribe to this channel. Now, as this video is titled, my 5 steps that I found as a new eBay seller that's been working for me. So I kind of want to go over a few things here. So this is the game plan. If you're new, if you want to start eBay, this has been working for me. I started and opened my eBay on October the 18th. It was a lot of stopping and starting listings and trying to get everything together. So in the beginning, I was like all over the place for the first 3 days. Right now it's October the 29th. My store has only been open for 10 days, or 11 days, should I say, but no sales as of yet, which is absolutely normal. Most people don't get their first sale because eBay has to put you in the algorithm and you need to be consistent to get in there. So most people start seeing something about the 3rd week, and that's the 3rd week being consistent. And I'm going to tell you, the first 4 or 5 days I wasn't consistent because I didn't know this. So this is my 5 steps if you're just getting started or want to get started with reselling on eBay. The first thing I would suggest is that you make the decision and you be accountable. So I'm kind of thinking about things as like a 30, 60, 90-day sprint. Okay, so I'm not sprinting it out like in a 7-day sprint or a 14-day sprint. I'm doing this 30, 60, 90-day sprint. Also, and what I mean by that is that I'm going to make a decision to focus on one category for 30 days. 60 days and then 90 days. So then hopefully over a 90-day period, which is like a quarter or 12 weeks, then I have become familiar with at least 3 categories in that time frame. If that's what I want to do, because you might want to only do one category. But I want to tell you this, if you want to sell women's clothing have a lot of categories. So, and what I mean by this, and this part was confusing because you're thinking women's clothing, so you're thinking all women's clothing. No. When you start, if you know you want to do women's clothing, but you know overall you want to do skirts, dresses, jeans, shirts, shorts, you know you want to do all the women's clothing. But each of those things are a category which you need to learn. So I broke it down for myself, and I had to do this from the beginning. So when you first making the decision to go on, think about the categories such as jeans. I'm only going to focus on jeans, then slacks, and then shorts, and so on and so forth. All bottoms are not created equal. So don't think, oh, I'm just going to focus on bottoms, and that includes the jeans, the slacks, the shorts, the skirts, everything that's bottom, because those each are their own category as well. So you really have to micro niche it down to start so you can start learning the brands, right? So the first thing is make the decision that this is something that you want to do and hold yourself accountable to learning one thing, and put yourself on a sprint or a challenge. 30-day, give yourself time, 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, with being consistent. Number 2, pick a category to start in and collect from the categories around the house. So say, for instance, you hear a lot of eBay resellers saying, hey, you can start by selling things in your home. Yeah, that's true. And that's how a lot of people get started. And that's how I got started. Actually, I did do some arbitrage, but the majority of items I had right here, but they're all kind of items in all different types of categories. So like, yes, I'm getting all of my old stuff, right? And I'm putting it on eBay, but they're all over the place. They're in different categories. They're in jewelry. They're in toys and hobby, because I got some Hot Wheels up there. Now, when you first start, of course, your eBay, like they said, your eBay is going to be crappy. And that's because you started from your house. So you have all types of stuff on there, not just a single category. But they say to start that way so you will start seeing what categories are selling. And over time, then once you list some stuff up there and you got some stuff going on a consistent basis, no matter what category it's in, if you're uploading the things you have around your house, a set number consistently every day, I wouldn't say go ham like I did. I uploaded like 22 items in one day. I shouldn't have did that. And then I didn't post anything for a couple of days because I didn't know. And that's what messed me up all in eBay's algorithm, right? So what I didn't know was, even though I had 22 items, I didn't have to post them all. I could have posted 5 and then saved the other 15 in the draft, and then posted another 5 the next day and the next day, and then while I'm collecting more and more things and taking photos and stuff like that. So I had a backlog instead of just pushing all of them out there like I did. So you live and you learn. So that's why I'm telling you, the first thing you want to do, make a decision, be accountable. The second thing you want to do, pick a category to start in. Yes, if you start around your house, upload everything. But to yourself, you know what you want to do. So start focusing on that one category. And if you have some disposable income like I do, because I'm using the money from my Etsy shop because I sell digital products, I'm using that money. I put up some and then I use the rest of it to fund my eBay, which allows me to do retail and arbitrage and some thrifting and some online arbitrage as well. So that's my disposable income that I'm using to build. So you can go to Goodwill, you can go to thrift stores, you can go to garage sales, but you got to have this disposable money. If you don't have any money, then you start from, everything in your house that you can put on eBay. And then if you don't have a job, get a job. So that way, some of that money you can use to kind of speed up the process for yourself, because things around your house might not be the right category or things that people on eBay are searching for that they really want. So it may take a long time for your household items to actually sell. All right. The third thing is clear goals. Have some goals. I know it's hard to set goals, especially monetary goals, when you don't know how things work. And that's how I am. When I start a venture, most people be like, oh, they have a monetary goal. Whenever I start, I don't have monetary goals at first. I have action goals, because I feel like if you do the right actions, the money is going to come. Everything is going to fall into place because it's performance based. So you have to work on your actions. So here was my goals. I want to, and I did over time come up with a profit goal. But in the beginning, it was like, I want to get to 100 listings, but I want to do it steadily. I don't want to grow too fast, because if you grow too fast and when you're not knowing what's going on, you don't want to get dinged, because you gotta ship out your items by a certain time. Whatever you select in eBay, you got to print the label, and you got to make sure the post office scans that label before, because sometimes you can drop them off at the post office, but if they don't scan it in time, eBay will be like, oh, you shipped it late. Whatever date you got on there, 1 business day handling time, 2 business day, or whatever you have to ship within that time frame, or you would get dinged. Okay. So don't do that. And you can possibly get shut down before you even start. So getting to 100 listings, that's my goal. Think about a goal for you, because they say for every 100 items you have in your store, you should be selling at least 1 item a day. That's like 1% of every 100. So my thing is to get to 100. That's why most people don't get their first sale until 3 weeks in. 3 weeks in is like 21 days. If you uploaded 5 items a day for 21 days, that's 105 items. So you hit that 100 mark, right? So the goal is to get to that 100 mark, but steady, and being smart about it too. I'm probably going to have more than 100 before I actually get a sale. And that's because I'm uploading things around the house. So of course it's going to get me to 100, but they're not 100 quality, right? And building 100 quality is going to take time, when you need to know what to get, what to source. And when you don't know what you don't know. So you learn along the way. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm learning along the way. So I want to at least make a profit. I know I at least want to make a $5 to $10 profit margin. I know some people say 20, but again, I'm just starting. If I make 20, I'm happy. If I make 30, I'm happy. But like right now, just getting started, I want to grow steadily 5, 10, 15, 20, because then I can start getting better and better and know what I need to do in order to increase that margin. And just find out what sells and what doesn't during this time frame. During, when you're setting these goals, you're going to find out what sells and what doesn't. So number 4, make a schedule for yourself. Make a schedule for when you want to go sourcing, when and where. At first, me and my daughter, we traveled everywhere. So like I went to some private mom and pop thrift stores. I did check out the Goodwill bin. I did make a video about that. I've also did some retail arbitrage, looking in like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Kohl's, Michael's even, the fabric store, Michael's. So everywhere I went is like a clearance. I want to see what's on the clearance rack. So, and I want to know where to go. Where is the brands, especially by me looking in my category in under the sold listings. I'm able to see what's selling, and then if by me going out in the community or shopping online or what have you, I'm starting to learn what stores carry what brands, right? And if there's a brand I don't know, or say, for example, I'm shopping, I'm like, I never heard of this before. I'll take a picture of it with my phone. I'll just take a picture of the tag, bam. And then when I come home, then I'll look up that tag inside of eBay to see if that brand is something I'm missing, right? And then I'll know what store I saw that brand in, right? So that's kind of what I do to help me learn the brands. Of course, you already know your name brands like Old Navy, Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, Hollister. I mean, yeah, your mall brands, Torrid, LL Bean, Stacey Adams. I mean, you get that. But there are brands out there that you would never think about is worth something because you weren't familiar with it. So yeah, you want to look outside of what you know as well to expand and grow. And over time, you will start making a list. You will start calling them off: Adidas, Reebok, Nike. Just like you call those off, you're going to start calling off names you've never heard of. Because I'm not going to lie, I didn't even know of a LL Bean. All right. But apparently that's the shishnik. Okay. So I'm like figuring it out. Right. And then you're starting to learn different things about Ralph Lauren. Like if it's the small pony, it's not worth that much, so you learn these things along the way. I didn't know that. So that's what I mean. When you make a schedule, you start sourcing. If you see something you never heard of, take a picture of it, come back home and research it. Make a schedule for when you want to list. When you're going to take your photos. I typically like to batch everything. Like I'll take a gang of photos, right? Because I'll have them in my phone, airdrop them real quick to the Mac. And then I would list a few, maybe more than a few. I'll list about 10. And then, but I would, only schedule 5, right? So while I'm at work, it's easy for me to go on my phone in the app or on my computer at work when I'm on lunch or whatever, something like that. And I can just post my 5 because I already saved them in draft. So it makes it real easy like that to make sure I hit my 5 a day because that's my goal. 5 a day, 5 times 30 is 150. So then I will be past the 100 mark for sure. But then again, like I said, I'm selling things around the house too. So I don't know how that is going to interfere. And then I'm still learning brands as well. So I'm trying out different brands, different sizes. You're going to learn that just because it's a good brand, it might not be in a good size. So you start learning those things. You have to do it in order to learn it. Nobody can tell you this. Number 5, the last but not least thing on the game plan is to gradually start making systems for yourself, systems and processes. I'm still working on this because the more you repeat something, you're going to start be like, oh, I don't like it that way, or it took too long, or you're going to figure out like, let me take the pictures first, or let me do this first. Let me take the pictures, or let me weigh the item first, or, you're going to start getting into a rhythm because it's going to feel long. It's going to feel unfamiliar. And then the more you do it, you're going to start having your routine. You put this down first. You put this down first. Once you get into that routine where you can like, doom, just grab it and do it, you write it. That's when you create an SOP. Standard operation procedures. That's when you make an SOP. And I would say wait until you get into that. You can do it in your sleep type of thing before you make the SOP. Like I grab this first, then grab this, then grab this. Because once you have an SOP, or even you don't have to write it, the SOP, you can also put it in a video if you want to and just save it. Because that way in the future, if you decide to hire somebody, all you got to do is give them that video to watch. Right? And they can duplicate you. Right? So that's why I said, try to come up with systems and stuff. Determine how long it takes you to list. Determine how long it takes you to take pictures and stuff like that. And what's your setup look like? And try to make things easier for yourself. How long does it take you to source? I'm not going to lie. I went in, I source. I'm pretty good at sourcing to me, but we'll see. The numbers don't lie. We'll see based on the sales. But so far as me finding branded items, I typically can find a good amount of them. To update you on what happened on Whatnot app, okay? Because your girl got approved, okay? So in the next video, I am going to talk to you a little bit about my experience with that and how that's going, because as tonight, as I'm recording this video, I will be doing my first live show. I'm not expecting a lot of people because I just decided to do the live show so I can get in there and just, hey, ain't no point in, sticking your toe in the water. You might as well jump right on in and get it over with. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So regardless if anybody's show or not, I'm going to work the whole thing like if it's 1,000 people in there, right? So I'll give you an update on that on Thursday's video, okay? But until the next time, love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.